Your child is trailing behind you, their voice a long, drawn-out whine. "Mom, Dad, I'm bored!" Your heart sinks. You feel a jolt of guilt, a rush of pressure to fix it, to find an activity, suggest a game, or maybe just hand them the tablet. We've all been there. But what if I told you that by rushing to solve their boredom, you're actually robbing them of a critical skill for their future? In this video, I'll show you exactly why boredom is a gift, not a problem. I'll give you the exact phrases to use when your child complains, so you can turn that moment into a launchpad for creativity and resilience. But be warned, many well-meaning parents make one common mistake when their child is bored, and it completely backfires, making the whining even worse. Stay tuned to find out what it is. So why does this feel so hard? Because we live in a world of overstimulation. From packed schedules to endless screen content, our kids' brains are rarely, if ever, quiet. They are constantly consuming but not creating. The truth is, a child's brain needs downtime. It's not laziness, it's a biological necessity. The part of the brain responsible for planning, problem-solving, and self-control, the prefrontal cortex, literally develops during these quiet, unstructured moments. And I want you to hear this loud and clear: your guilt is not your fault. Society bombards us with images of perfect parenting, which usually involves Pinterest-worthy activities and a constantly entertained child. But the science of child development tells a very different story. This isn't about neglecting your child. It's about strategically giving them the mental space they need to grow into the incredible person they are meant to be. First, we need to completely change how we think about boredom. It is not a problem to be solved, it's not a void. Boredom is an opportunity. It is the brain's way of saying, "I'm done passively receiving information, now I'm ready to create something new." Think of it like a blank canvas. You would never hand a great artist a finished painting and expect them to create. You give them a fresh, empty canvas. Boredom is that canvas for your child's mind. It's the starting point of imagination, innovation, and self-discovery. The next time your child complains, I want you to try shifting your own perspective first, from panic to curiosity. Instead of thinking, "Oh no, I have to fix this," think, "Amazing, their brain is getting ready to build something." So when they say, "I'm bored," try responding with a calm and curious tone. Say, "That bored feeling is interesting. It's your brain telling you it's ready to create. I wonder what it's going to come up with." This simple phrase reframes the entire experience for both of you. Now let's talk about the magic that happens on that blank canvas, the creativity spark. When your child's brain isn't being fed a constant stream of entertainment, it does something amazing. It starts to daydream. It wanders. And in that wandering, it begins to connect old ideas in new ways. This is the very essence of creative thinking. Some of the greatest innovators in history, from Einstein to Steve Jobs, credited their biggest breakthroughs to moments of unstructured time, to long walks, or to simply staring into space. They allowed themselves to be bored. When we constantly entertain our children, we rob them of this crucial practice. We're teaching them to be consumers of creativity, not producers of it. So the next step is to link boredom directly to their own imaginative power. When they say, "I'm bored," try this phrase. "I hear you. You know, sometimes when I feel bored, my very best ideas pop into my head. It's like my imagination is waking up after a long nap. What do you think your imagination is dreaming about right now?" This validates their feeling, while empowering them to see themselves as the source of their own fun. This leads directly to our third point: fostering independence and real-world problem-solving skills. Every single time you rush in with an iPad, a new toy, or a detailed plan to cure your child's boredom, you are sending a powerful, unspoken message. That message is, You are not capable of solving this problem on your own. You need me, or something external, to make you feel better. Over time, this builds a deep-seated dependence. They learn to look outside of themselves for fulfillment and entertainment, but when you allow them to sit with their boredom, you give them a chance to look inward and to look outward at their own environment for a solution. They are forced to become resourceful. They have to ask themselves, what can I do with what I have right here? This is a foundational skill for life. So, when they complain, you can acknowledge their feeling without taking it on as your responsibility. You can say, "It sounds like you're feeling bored and you're searching for something to do. That's a great puzzle to solve. What are some clues in this room that could lead to a new game?" Let's be honest, boredom is an uncomfortable feeling. It can feel restless, antsy, and frustrating. And that's exactly why it's so valuable. Learning to tolerate this discomfort without immediately reaching for a distraction is a powerful form of emotional regulation. Life is full of uncomfortable moments. Waiting in line, sitting through a difficult meeting, working through a frustrating problem. A child who has never learned to manage the mild discomfort of boredom will grow into an adult who struggles to manage the much bigger discomforts of life. They will look for an easy escape, a quick fix. By letting them experience and move through boredom on their own, you are giving them emotional resilience training. You're teaching them that uncomfortable feelings are temporary and manageable. A great way to do this is to simply validate and sit with them for a moment. You could say, "I know being bored can feel a little squirmy and frustrating, can't it? It's okay to feel that way. It's just a feeling. Let's see what happens if we just breathe with it for 1 minute." This teaches mindfulness and self-compassion. Okay, I know the idea of just letting your child be bored can be terrifying at first. You might be imagining chaos and endless whining. So here is a fantastic, practical tool to bridge the gap: the boredom jar. This is a simple jar or box that you and your child can create together. On small slips of paper, you write down open-ended activity prompts. The key here is open-ended. You don't want to write, "Play with the blue car." Instead, you write things like, "Build the tallest tower you can," or "Create a secret code," or "Put on a play using only socks as puppets," or "Draw a map of a magical land." This way, the jar provides a starting point, a small nudge, but the creative work is still up to the child. It puts the ownership back on them. You can introduce it as a fun tool. When they complain, you can say with excitement, "You're feeling bored? Perfect. That's the signal to check the boredom jar. Let's see what adventure it has for us today." This frames boredom not as a negative state, but as the exciting trigger for a new challenge. Now, as your child gets more comfortable with this, you can move from the boredom jar to a more advanced technique psychologists call scaffolding. Imagine you're building a house. You don't hold the builder's hand for every brick. You just provide a scaffold to help them reach higher. That's your role here. You are not the builder, you are the scaffold provider. You don't solve the problem for them, you just offer a tiny bit of support to spark their own idea. So, when your child says, "There is nothing to do," instead of giving them a full-blown activity, you just plant a tiny seed, and then, and this is the most important part, you walk away. Give them the space to let the seed grow. You might gesture to a pile of Amazon boxes in the corner and say, "I wonder if those boxes could become a spaceship." Or you might see a flashlight and a blanket and say, that reminds me of a secret spy cave." Said, you are simply offering a spark, not the whole fire. This respects their intelligence and creativity, showing them you believe they can take it from there. This next point is one of the most important, because it's all about you, the parent. You must ditch the guilt. Let me say that again. You must ditch the guilt. Your job is not to be your child's full-time chief entertainment officer. Our culture has sold us a lie that a good parent is one who is constantly on the floor playing, constantly orchestrating fun, and ensuring their child is never, ever bored. This is not only false, it's an impossible standard that leads to parental burnout. Your real job is to provide a safe, loving, and resource-rich environment. Your role is to be the curator of their world, not the main attraction in it. You are the coach on the sidelines, the safe harbor they can return to after their adventures, the person who believes in their ability to create their own joy. So the next time that wave of guilt washes over you when your child is bored, I want you to take a deep breath and tell yourself this mantra. My child is building their brain right now. They are learning a critical life skill. My job is to hold this space for them. I am being a great parent by not intervening. Now we come to the critical mistake I mentioned in the beginning. The one thing that can sabotage all of this great work. The most common and most tempting solution to a child's boredom is to hand them a screen. A phone, a tablet, the television. It's an instant fix. The whining stops, they are quiet and occupied. But this quick fix comes at a massive long-term cost. Screens provide passive consumption. The colors, the sounds, the fast-paced stories are all delivered to your child. Their brain doesn't have to do any work. It's the complete opposite of the active, creative, problem-solving state that boredom is meant to trigger. It effectively short-circuits the entire developmental process. It teaches the brain that discomfort should be immediately numbed with external stimulation. To avoid this trap, have a clear family rule and a go-to phrase. For example, I know you feel bored and you'd like to watch something, but our brains need a break from screens to get strong and creative. That's our brain-building time. Let's see what our own imaginations can create first. This sets a firm but loving boundary. To make all of this easier, you need to create a boredom-friendly environment. A child's surroundings can either invite creativity or stifle it. Start by looking at their toys. A room overflowing with single-purpose, battery-operated toys that beep and flash actually limits imagination. Why? Because the toy tells the child exactly how to play with it. Instead, prioritize open-ended toys. Things like building blocks, Legos, clay, art supplies, cardboard boxes, dress-up clothes, and simple dolls or figures. These items don't have a prescribed purpose. They can become anything. Also, make these items easily accessible. Don't hide the art supplies away in a closet. Have a creation station ready to go. And finally, you have to schedule boredom. I know it sounds crazy, but in our overscheduled world, you need to deliberately block out do-nothing time on the family calendar. This is protected time where there are no activities, no playdates, and no screens. It gives the brain permission to finally switch off and wander. Finally, and this might be the most powerful tool of all, you have to model healthy boredom. Our children are always watching us. They learn far more from what we do than from what we say. If every spare moment you have, waiting in line, sitting on the couch, the 2 minutes before dinner is ready, is spent scrolling on your phone, you are teaching them a powerful lesson. You're teaching them that empty space is scary and must be filled immediately with digital noise. They will copy this behavior, so be intentional about your own downtime. Let your kids see you just sitting and staring out the window. Let them see you reading a physical book. Let them see you working on a hobby just for fun. You can even narrate it. You can say out loud, "You know, I have a few free minutes. I'm not going to check my phone. I'm just going to sit here and let my mind wander for a bit. It feels so nice to just be quiet." This normalizes and elevates the act of doing nothing, transforming it from a problem into a peaceful, valuable practice. So, the next time you hear that familiar whine, "I'm bored," I want you to smile. Don't panic. See it as a victory. It's a sign that you are doing something right. It's a signal that your child's brain is primed and ready to grow, to create, to innovate, and to build the deep, internal resilience they will need for a happy and successful future. I know this is a huge mindset shift, and it can feel uncomfortable for you and your child at first. But you are giving them a gift that no toy, app, or fancy class can ever provide. You are a wonderful parent for being willing to give them this space. If this video helped you see boredom in a new, more positive light, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next video on raising capable, confident kids. And now I'd love to hear from you. What's the most creative thing your child has ever done when they were bored? Share your stories in the comments below. I can't wait to read them.